everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventures in Taking Strahd Seriously, Part 19? We've been going at this for a while now, and it shows. Barovia is left in a bad way, but we will get to that during the recap. Today is September 3rd, 2019, and you are loved is a very important thing to remember. And even if you know people who don't listen to this show, which you shouldn't talk to the people who don't listen to this show, force them, convince them, coerce them to enjoy our series, or don't, as a lot of the people are shaking their heads at me, all you audiocast listeners out there. But we do this, well, actually let them know that they are loved as well. Just spread that message. It's a good one. Other than that, we do this show Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and on Saturdays, I'm gonna have to figure out a new early Saturday time. Probably going to be either 8 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time, or I'll move it around to like Sunday or something, because I have a new job that requires me to then be at work during those hours. So I'm going to be figuring out stuff to do there. If you feel like, if this is your first time watching it, watching our simple little show that we like to run here, consider going to our VODs or any of the audiocast places where you can find audiocasts, and you just need to look up Indoor Adventures, all one word. That is where you will find us, people. If you already do that, if you are already supporting the show with Twitch and with Patreon and all of those other stuff, have you considered bit.ly/adventure merch? We got all sorts of cool stuff. We got posters, we got t-shirts, we got crop tops, we got mugs. And guys, I did it. You can get your own set of ham pants on the merch store now, as they have been generated. It says ham along the sides. They look super comfy. I'm going to be ordering a pair here pretty soon. So if you just want pants that say ham on them, because who doesn't, consider going to bit.ly/adventure merch. That is it for my spiel. So, RJ, take us away.
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and I thought my frame was a lot shorter. I'm playing Bartholomew, the ranger, human blood hunter mix, something like that. We're gonna have a time.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp, and I'm playing Silme, the half-elf wizard.
I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I shall be playing Kefris Malreska, the mongrel folk barbarian.
I'm sorry, Malreska.
Bellevue! Good catch! That was a test.
I'm sure it was. My name's Wings. I'm your very spooky DM tonight, and let's get everything started with the recap. Last time, Silme, Kefris, Speedy, and Maybell said farewell to Irina and attended dinner at Ravenloft, but they got more than they bargained for when they found that they were not the only guests invited. They met several hapless humans imprisoned within the castle and witnessed many gruesome ghouls at this ghastly get-together. Silme flirted with Escher, one of Strahd's consorts, while Kefris and Speedy discovered some allies within the walls. Over dinner, Strahd extended an olive branch, offering them peace if they would either leave Barovia or stay without interfering with her schemes. Kefris, to Silme's horror and Bartholomew's annoyance, politely declined, making a permanent enemy of the Lady Zarovich. As they retreated, with a sickly Ismark in tow, the group found the village of Barovia in flames, with dark pillars of smoke rising in the direction of Vallaki. All right, everybody, I need to know what the arrangement is on the carriage.
Driving.
Bart is driving. Silme in the back? Yes. Kefris, where you at?
I am probably going to be either alongside the cart or up front with Speedy. I spilled something, so I shall return.
Okay. Bartholomew, are you making a speedy retreat, or like what is your modus operandi on your way to Vallaki?
It was quick. It was quick but safe.
Okay. So like we're not rolling up on one wheel or two wheels. There's four wheels.
We're not doing the two-wheel like turn around the corner, but as soon as he sees smoke in the west, he'll spur those horses on faster.
All right. So it takes at least an hour to get there. You kind of have to. The road to Vallaki is a twisty and turny one. It's just now that you kind of notice this, because the entire time that you were at Ravenloft, you were really trying to suppress conceal, don't feel, and feel kind of like just that stone-faced visage that you normally have. Within, at this moment, you have feelings, which is new. For the most part, you have either none or like the way that you experience emotion is either very little or zip. And at this moment, you're feeling a lot, and you're not entirely certain what it is, but whatever it is, there's a lot of it. And you just kind of have like this fluttering in your heart, and it's difficult to contain. But there are 3 distinct pillars coming from Vallaki, and the closer you get, the more clear it becomes that Vallaki, or at least parts of it, are in flames. The gate is worryingly unguarded when you approach it. Silme, on the way to Vallaki, Maybelle actually suggests that she takes on her owl form so that she could run reconnaissance when you guys get to Vallaki.
Yeah.
All right. So with your permission and magic's interference, you are able to turn her into an owl. And as soon as you get to Vallaki, Speedy, having grown up here, knowing this place like the back of your hand, you can tell that the smoke is coming from the most western part of town, where the Burgomaster's mansion is located, from the northern part of town, where there are residential areas and your childhood home, and the middle of town, where the church is. And the one in the middle of town has much less smoke than the rest of them. But the other two just have like these billowing black clouds just pouring into the sky. What is your plan now?
He's going to stop the carriage at the gate, stand up and throw the reins at Kefris. And his heart is pounding right now. He looks over to Kefris and goes, "Don't try to stop me." And he hops off and starts running towards the southern part of town, towards his home.
The northern part of town is your home.
Northern part of town.
So you just start sprinting through the streets. So at first it is pretty concerningly barren, the streets of Vallaki. But the closer you get to your home, the more people you see. And when you finally arrive there, you find that your house is in flames, and the Hunters Guild has formed a bucket brigade, and they are attempting to put it out. Kefris and Silme, what are you doing right now?
I am going to extend my hand out to Speedy as he runs away and just, wait, we should stick together. Fuck it. And like he tries to maneuver our cart just off to the side, like near the wall. It's going to be quicker for us to go on foot than it is for us to bring these horses in our cart with us. We can come back for the cart later.
All right.
Silma's going to, Maybelle, find Leo, please.
She flies. She heads off to the Burgomaster's mansion, where that seems to be the most likely place for him to be.
I am then going to pick up Ismark and just carry him with us. And then
The church.
We need to go to the church. And just start, like, just running with Ismark over my shoulder as quickly as I can.
Silme
Right.
has her dress hiked up. She's in, like, her fanciest outfit, and she's just, like,
Everybody
high heel
is.
running through the streets.
That's right. Everybody's still in their nice clothes. Speedy, what are you doing?
I grab the nearest hunter
Okay.
by the collar.
Oh God. Bartholomew.
Where are they?
I don't know. I don't think anybody's in there, and if they are, they're Bart. I'm sorry. I don't know if they made it. I haven't seen them.
It's raging right now, right?
Raging the fire.
Yes.
Well, like part of the building has been extinguished, and the rest of it is just raging in flames. At this point, they're just mostly trying to keep it from spreading. Your house is gone. Like they're like, if there's anything in there, it's not salvageable.
I'm gonna make survival checks. My dad's a big dude. He must have left some sort of footprint, some sort of sign.
Okay.
18?
18. All right. You're trying to like look for signs of escape.
Mm-hmm.
You will approach the front of the house. The heat is just like coming out in waves. You get as close as you can, and like your eyebrows are nearly singeing. You can see that this had to have been a magical attack. There's no way that this is just arson. Like this is a full-on assault. The front of the building is completely blasted out, and you are able to see that there are drag marks at the front of the building. You can like size it up a little bit. Looks like your dad.
Just his drag marks, no one else?
He didn't necessarily walk out of here, but he was dragged out of here. You also see dog footy prints. Paw prints. That's the actual word for this.
Do you know who did this?
No, we haven't been able to find out yet. But 2 other places got hit tonight.
Burgomaster and the church, right?
Yes, we've already put out the church. It was our first priority. But we're going to take care of this, and then we're going to go to the burgomaster's place. It can't spread from the burgomaster's house. It's there's nobody in there, so we figured this was a bigger priority.
He nods his head. If I find out who did this, there's going to be no trial. And he turns and he walks.
He kind of like swallows around a lump in his throat and goes back to helping with the bucket brigade.
Can I make a perception check for like, I don't know, if I can see any evidence? Like, oh, this is like part of a dragon scale that they use to cast the fire, or...
Okay. All right.
CSI in this natural 20.
Okay. You are able to tell that the like you kind of like analyze the God, it's a natural fucking 20. You analyze the like blast marks on your house, and you are able to figure out exactly where the person must have been standing when they fucking threw a fireball into your house. And it's like you kind of like triangulate it, and they had to have been standing on a roof across the street. And as you are doing this, you will catch out of the corner of your eye a flash of red. And it becomes clear to you that there is a crowd of people in red robes just kind of walking down the street slowly.
Towards us or away?
Towards.
Sorry.
It's okay. And as you see that, let's cut to Kefris and Silme.
Running oh so fast towards the church.
Running as well as I can towards the church. Do I feel anything from Maybell?
She has had to exit your
Okay.
your radius, but she will get back to you as soon as she can.
Yeah.
All right. Kefris, you run as fast as you can to the church. The smoke, it's the pillar of smoke that is much less. You arrive and find that half of the church has just been completely burned out. There is dying coals and such, but like the interior of the building is just visible. You can see that pews and things are broken and splintered and basically just kindling to what had to have been a raging fire. And yeah, half of the building is just gone and rubble.
Right half or left half?
Does it matter? You're
Yes.
I think that
Because the right half was where we stayed. The
Yes,
left side was where Kefris had his single room.
I will say it is the left half. It's very specifically, correct me if I'm wrong here, it's very specifically the half of the building that Irina was not.
Yes,
Okay.
that is correct. That is why I was curious.
It's the left half and sort of the back. The place where the bones would be underneath the altar is just cracked in half. And it's looking pretty bad. Out on the lawn, about as far away from the building as they can dare, a medical tent has been set up. And you can see Father Lucian kind of limping around on a crutch and attending to as many people as he possibly can. So like half the lawn is a medical tent. The other half of the lawn is just people laid out with shrouds covering them.
Kefris is going to take Ismark to the medical tent because honestly, he kind of needs it. So go to the medical tent and then start asking the survivors, where are the survivors located?
You're looking at him.
And as you're looking at him like the sole guy.
Oh, like, I mean, he who are you talking to, Petrovich?
No, it wouldn't be Petrovich unless he had set up the medical tent.
Yeah, it would be Petrovich.
Okay, so yeah, I'd be talking to Petrovich and just, where's our friend?
Indira?
Yes. Where did he go?
I haven't seen him.
This man needs help. This is Indiro's brother.
This is
Yes.
the burgomaster of Barovia.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Oh shit.
Barovia is also not doing well, to say the absolute very least about that.
Okay, all right. I do not have enough spell slots for this. He's gonna grab Ismark and take him to an empty bed, kind of check on him, like look in his eyes, and say, "This man is stable for now. There are other people who are dying, and I gotta go take care of them right now."
Yes. And then
Silme, the connection with Maybell suddenly snaps back too. And you get a very clear image in your head of the entire first 2 floors of the Burgomaster's mansion just absolutely in flames, just like fire licking out of the windows. You can see that the attic room where Leo slept just has a huge wall, a huge hole burned out of the wall, as though somebody had thrown a fireball into it. And you can tell, as a magic user yourself, you know for a fact that a fireball was thrown right into Leo's window.
Silme starts crying. Like, her eyes go wide and she just starts crying on the spot. Oh my god.
Kefris is going to turn around and he is going to grab both sides of your face. Look at me. Look at me. We need to focus. We need to figure out what is happening. We need to find Indiro. We need to find Leo. We need to find Speedy. We need to find everybody that we know and make sure. We have to make sure.
What do we do?
First thing, close your eyes. Deep breath. In, exhale. Do you feel like you are capable of running to the Burgomaster's mansion?
She, like, bends over. You see her, like, hike her skirt up, like, all the way. She turns her hoop skirt around, undoes it, lets it fall to the floor, grabs her shoes, rips them off, takes her stockings off, like, throws them on the ground.
And as you finish this transformation, Maybell swoops in and lands on your shoulder.
You and Maybell go check the Burgomaster's mansion. I was going to say lair, and honestly, I feel like if he was still alive, that might be the proper term for it. But go check the mansion. I'm going to look around and see if I can find out where Indiro went. Did you tell him that he should be with Leo?
I don't think so. Leo's with his gods. Did we tell her?
I do believe... I thought that you had said to go and live in the Burgomaster's mansion. But she was still staying in the church because... Holy
I thought it was a
crap.
suggestion.
Okay.
She said she was going to keep an eye on Vallaki while you were gone.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Kefris is going to say... Go to the Burgomaster's mansion. See if Leo's around. I feel like you would be the best person to do that in this situation. You and Maybell both.
No, Maybell should stay with you.
We have no way of communicating if she is a bird.
Yes, but she can come to me. And she can communicate with me.
I don't trust this town right now. And
Right, and
motions
I can
to
handle
the
myself.
broken.
If I get swarmed by something, I can cast something similar, or a swarm of something. I can defend myself against more people than you can. Don't argue. And she's gonna put her hand on his mouth, and she's gonna kiss him on the forehead, right under his horn, and then she's gonna kiss Maybell as a bird on the forehead, and she's gonna say, "Keep him safe." And she's gonna hike up her skirt and start running.
Maybell's gonna look at Kefris.
And Kefris is going to start running towards the nearest building that he possibly can. And he's going to climb up the building onto the roof and ask Maybell, can you fly and find out where any survivors are going, where people are going? There has to be an area where when the community is in danger, they meet. Can you go find that for me?
She's going to kind of like look down at the church and then look at you.
Anywhere else. There has to be a fallback. There has to be.
She's gonna kind of squint and then like take flight, and you see her start taking long, wide circles around the church and getting a good look. And as she does so, you kind of watch the white, her white feathers just kind of very stark against the darkness of the sky and the smoke. And you see her fly in front of a crowd of red robes that are slowly making their way towards the church. Silme, where are you going?
Burgermaster's house.
All right. You arrive at the Burgomaster's house and you see the same thing that you did before. The servants are all just kind of gathered and huddled around the, just kind of like holding on to each other and watching their home just go up in flames.
She's gonna run over to them. Where is Leo?
I don't know. He sneaks out all the time.
Where would he go?
They all just give you like wide-eyed looks. They have no answer for you.
He is your master. You must look for him. Go now.
They kind of like titter away from you and run off to who knows where.
Yeah. She's gonna start trying to. From what I can see, someone shot into his room.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see any explosions outwards?
No. It's very clear that somebody stood down in the street and shot a fireball up into the window of his room.
All right, cool. I guess I'm gonna start. Do I have any idea where he would go? I'm just gonna start looking for clues outside to see if he snuck out, because he got in the same way he gets out, so she knows where he gets in, so she's gonna start there.
All right, give me an investigation check.
Okay. What dice do I use? 12.
12. Okay. Well, normally he would put down a bunch of knotted sheets and then crawl down the side of the building. You know that since the Burgomaster died and since Isaac died, he had since stopped doing that, since he could just go down the stairs and the servants wouldn't question him when he left.
Yeah.
So he either went down the stairs and left that way, or he didn't make it out. And as this realization comes to you, you can see one man in a red robe come around the corner. And the flames just light him starkly from the side, as though he really is just kind of split down the middle. He has like a dark shadow facing away from the flames, and they just kind of, the light plays across his face, and he just kind of stares at you briefly. You can't see his face, and he starts to convulse, and his hood will fall back, and you watch as his face just literally splits down the middle, and a thing crawls out of his body, and a wing pops out and spreads, and a wing pops out and spreads, and a demon just crawls out of this man. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh my god.
Things happening to us, or
Okay. That's not bad for once.
Telos, give me strength.
I can basic math. Cool.
I got 15.
25.
20.
Okay. Sort range. There you are. Okay, so to kind of set the scene for the rest of you, Kefris, you are standing or rather clinked to the side of a building. I'm going to say that it's the remaining parts of the church because it's basically the tallest building there is. And you see a crowd of cultists begin to walk forward, and you see two of them begin to convulse, and you see a very similar scene as demons crawl out of them as well. Bartholomew, you see the same thing. Two cultists at the front of a crowd convulsing as demons crawl out of their chest cavities.
Great. Gross.
So, Speedy, at the top of the round, it's you.
Quickly pulls out his crossbow, and he's gonna triple tap one of the demons.
Okay.
Does a 25 hit?
Yes.
I'm gonna roll all the attacks.
Go for it.
Does a 18 hit?
Yes.
Does a 13 hit?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
That's that and that. Oh god, I'm sorry, my brain went weird.
I'm assuming if you kill one of these dudes, you're gonna target the next one.
Yes.
All right.
19. Oh god. 31 points of piercing damage.
All right. God, fucking dust him.
Pincushion.
Yeah. So, a bunch of bolts just riddle this demon, and it immediately flumps to the ground. Kefris, it's you.
Kefris is going to look at this demon that has erupted out of a man, and he is going to think to himself, there are no gods in this place. And then he is going to jump from the wall with his maul while he rages, and is going to do a reckless attack on the first demon to try and smash.
All right.
So the first attack should be good. That's a 19.
19, that'll hit.
Yes. Okay. So then it is these two guys right here, then this guy. Okay, so that is going to be for 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And then, 15 points of bludgeoning damage, sorry.
Okay.
And then a total of 5 points of radiant damage.
All right. You crack this guy open like a melon, and he just spills out into a pile of gore on the ground. And the demon that was next to him just kind of looks at you with this toothy grin. It's got a face like an anglerfish.
Well, thankfully I have my second attack, which seems pretty cool. And his second thought, before he tries to swing out his maul, is, and if there are no gods, then I shall have the people look up to me instead. And he will try and swing out. That is a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so that is going to be... Oh, that's the first creature. So, 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right, you dust another one. And you watch as the crowd of cultists kind of like back off a little bit. And they all just kind of look at each other. And then one of them begins to convulse.
I am just going to cock my arms back and just snarl at them. Ah! And then that's it for my turn.
All right. It is one of the devils on Speedy's. So this thing is going to put its wings up and then just bring them down, and this gust of wind hits you, Speedy, and like blows a bunch of smoke into your eyes, and it takes to the air, and it is going to try and hit you with some tail spines, as you recognize that this is the same kind of creature that attacked your father during the assassination attempt. All right, does a 10 doesn't hit you.
You want to hit 14.
Say again?
You want to hit a 14.
All right, and a natural one's not going to hit you either. So I think that like just a bunch of tail spines come flying down at you, and you bring up your forearm, and one just bounces and breaks off of your bracer. Okay, Silme, it's your turn.
Can Silme identify what kind of demon this is?
This is absolutely a spine devil, just like what attacked Bartholomew's father.
Solid.
You only have one.
Right. Yes. Sorry, spine devil. I keep getting that wrong. Keep wanting to call it bone devil.
Very different.
Yes. Silme's going to. Do I know that these have a consciousness as far as like couldn't speak to me?
If you know its language.
I sure don't. I'm just going to. Silme's going to just kind of like pick her hand up, like looking at it, not really impressed with what it is, and she's going to wave her fingers and say a word and cast magic missile.
All right.
At it. So that's 9 for 13 points of damage.
That is a number. It is very clearly bloodied. It is not dead.
Then I would like to cast Frostbite as a cantrip. Right? Wait, is that bonus action? No, I'm dumb. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
I don't know why I thought Magic Missile was a bonus action.
Do you have any bonus actions that you'd like to do?
No. I mean, she's crying, so.
All right. On their
cry as a free action, please.
Absolutely, that's fine. You can cry as a free action. Did you say a free action? You said a free action. You can cry as a free action. All right. On their turns, two spine devils are going to explode out of their cultists on Kefris's side of things, and they will take to the air. I'm going to say that you're close enough to get an opportunity attack on one of them.
I'll totally take it. Yep. Yeah. That is going to be a 21 to hit.
21 will hit.
And then that is going to be for 14 points of bludgeoning damage and 7 points of radiant damage.
All right. That one dies. But one spine devil is in the air on your side, Kefris.
Okay.
And meanwhile, you can see just more and more cultists are beginning to convulse in the crowd. Silme, your spined devil is going to attack you with some tail spines. A natural 20 is definitely going to hit you, but will a 15? Yes? All right.
Yes, I'm pretty sure my AC is like 11. Yep.
Yeah, for the audio cast, that was...
I will remember you.
I mean, it's possible.
Remember me. All right. So, for the natural 20, you are going to take 8 piercing damage.
Okay, good.
And 4 fire damage. So I'm gonna say, yeah, since and then for the other one, sorry. So you take an absolute gut shot as this spine just buries itself into your abdomen and then goes up in flame. And then a second one is going to graze your shoulder with 3 piercing damage and 4 fire damage.
Things are fine. I'm still up.
All right. Whew. Speedy.
Are any of the other hunters looking this way, or is it just me?
They don't want to break the line necessarily, but they're kind of like nudging each other and going like, should we do something about this? But like they have not faced demons before.
Cool. Time to face my demons. I'm going
Devils. These are devils. I should be specific. These are not demons, they are devils.
No one's here to see this, but typically Bart will like slash his arm or something, but the crossbow in his hand just fumes with electricity, and you can see some of it just wreathing around his arm down to his shoulder. And he's going to point it up at the spine devil and fire another shot.
Okay.
Which one of you bastards is a D6? Does 18 hit?
18 will hit.
And this, he takes 10 points of piercing, 4 points of lightning damage.
Nice. 10 points of piercing and 4 points of lightning?
Yes.
Okay. It is still living.
And
Go ahead. Sorry.
he will run to a tree line, pull out his short sword in the other hand, and try to duck behind a tree for cover.
All right. Okay. Kefris, you see a white shape come down out of the sky, and Harry, a demon, as you see Maybelle with her talons out, just scratch at his eyes and then continue to fly off. If you choose to attack that demon, you will get advantage.
Excellent. Also, I would like to point out I did use Reckless Attack for your sake, so all attacks against me will have advantage.
I will remember that.
Okay.
I say, lying. It is your turn.
You know, like a liar.
Oh,
No,
it's my
not
turn.
gonna lie.
Right.
It is your turn.
All right, cool. How far up in the air is the dude that flew?
Well, he is 40 feet in the air.
Oh, well, I can't really do anything about that.
No, he's 20 feet in the air.
Oh, that I can possibly manage.
Oh, really?
I have a climb speed.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep. So I would like to climb up a wall and then again just like jumping strike at this dude.
All right, give it to me.
All right,
Baby.
sweet. I'm going to be reckless. Which I'm glad I did. So a 25 to hit.
All right, definitely hits. You didn't need to be reckless because Maybelle helped you.
The one that was flying was harried?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then I would have saved, or no, I said reckless. I'm going to do reckless.
Okay.
What you're doing is pretty reckless.
Yes.
Reckless.
Jumping off of a building at a dude who's flying 20 feet in the air seems like a reckless thing to do. So 12 points of bludgeoning damage and 6 points of radiant.
Okay. That is going to be enough to drop this guy. It's the one that you opportunity attacked earlier.
The one I opportunity attacked got dusted because there was two that tried going up, and I just
It's
disappeared.
so hard to keep track.
Yeah, that's okay.
So you tell me again what that damage was.
So it was 12 points of bludgeoning damage and 6 points of radiant.
All right.
And then, if possible, I would like to have jumped off the wall, like heading towards the writhing crowd.
Cool. I'm into it.
All right. And then landing in front of them, I'd like to use my second attack to just hit a guy who's mid-transformation.
Go for it.
Okay. That's going to be a 12.
A 12 will hit.
Oh. Look at that.
These guys aren't wearing armor.
Excellent. So that's 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right. You dust him.
Excellent.
So fun fact, cultists don't have resistances. Devils do. You're gonna want to pop these boys before they pop.
I've played Dark Souls 3. I know what this is about. Gotta kill them all while they're still just like writhing on top of the church. Get them while they're easy.
Firebombs. Firebombs.
All right.
But yeah, then Kefris is just going to just kind of like yell menacingly at the group of devils that he is now currently surrounded by. Or at least cultists.
Cultists, mostly, at the moment. All right. Bartholomew, you have at least one devil left on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's out and about?
Yeah, I shot him a couple times.
He is going to attack you, but you are in cover now.
Yes.
How much cover do you have?
I found a tree and I put my back to it. So.
All right. You track that cover and how much bonus of an AC it gives to you. And
is it total or half?
Half. That's what I'm going to say. Does a dirty 20 hit you?
Not yet. It does.
Not yet?
It does.
All right, then that one won't hit either. You see as tail spines kind of dig into the tree as you...
the dirty 20 hits.
The dirty 20 hits, but then a 2 does not. Okay. No. So you catch one to the shoulder before you manage to get behind the tree, and the other one just right into the tree. Here comes damage. All right, that is going to be 6 piercing damage and 2 fire damage.
Cool.
All right. And on their turn, 2 more devils are going to pop out on Bart's side and then start dive bombing the hunters and like literally just start carrying a few of them away. Silme, your turn.
Things are fine. Is it on top of me right now?
He's flying over you.
Solid. All right.
20 feet.
Cool. I'm going to start running, but as I'm running, I turn back and I'm going to cast an acid arrow at him.
Okay.
Because if he's attacking me, then somebody else is probably getting attacked as well. Yes, I know, honey. So she kind of pulls out, ooh, that's fucking boss. That's a 23 to hit.
Yes.
So she kind of pulls out a leaf from her bag, places it in her finger and rips it in half. And as she does, she pulls back this arrow and does...
Pretty cool.
Thanks. 3, 6, 9. 10 damage. Acid.
All right. You watch as its face just melts completely off. And its skull is briefly visible, just like this wide grinning face. And then it like falls out of the sky and hits the ground with a wet thud. You are now alone, but as you turn around, you can see the hellish glow that's coming up from Bartholomew's house and that pillar of smoke, and you see dark leathery wings just beginning to fly around in those pillars of smoke, both at the church and at Bartholomew's house.
Oh boy. Sophie's choice, man. I gotta go to the church. But she is gonna yell for Leo as she's going.
Okay.
Yeah, she's full on barefoot sprinting down the cobblestone.
All right, Speedy. Currently, there are now 3 devils in the sky.
2 of which are occupied with
taking hunters away.
I'm not a dumb boy. I need to stem this flow. He's going to roll out from behind cover in this 3-point sprinter pose, Zephyr Strike himself, and like a bolt of lightning, one shot goes up in the air at the devil, and he'll weave himself in between the cultists. So that's Zephyr Strike. That's an advantage. Natural 20.
Nice.
Gotta love it.
Womp 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 womp.
Right dice get double 2, correct? Because it's damage.
Yes. As far as I'm aware, that is a channel-wide rule.
Always roll double dice.
Double dice for everything.
6 points of lightning damage and 14 points of piercing.
Nice. All right. And how much damage do you do with your Zephyr Strike on the cultists?
I don't do any damage. Oh, I forgot to roll the d8 for the Zephyr Strike. Zephyr Strike only gives the weapon the attack, so that Zephyr Strike is going up into the air, but I'm using they can't attack me as part of a reaction to weave myself in the middle.
Gotcha. So now you're in the middle of the crowd?
Yes. 8 points of force damage to that dude.
All right. You watch that dark shape begin to fall. Kefris, on your turn, which one are you going to attack next?
Did they not attack me at all?
You are taking them out too fast.
Damn fucking straight. So, the next two that are wriggling and writhing.
Okay. Then Maybelle will come down and harry one of them.
Okay.
And she has flyby, so she doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity.
Sounds good.
So she flies off, and now it is you.
Okay, so he's going to rush up to the one that Maybelle didn't fly by, and he is going to use Reckless attack.
Kefris, come on.
Reckless is only for the first attack, so it wouldn't do me any good to Reckless for a second character because I wouldn't be able to, so I have to do it this way.
Gotcha.
So he is, after he's been snarling and looking at these cultists, he's going to look at the next one who's writhing, the one that he's going after, and he will say, "You picked the wrong god." And then he's going to rush forward and try and bash into it. That is a 14.
Yep.
And that is a total of 15 points of bludgeoning damage and 8 points of radiant.
Talk about overkill. All right.
And
Second
then
one?
he is going to just shoulder roll on the ground over towards where that one is, and then just with an upswing of his hammer try and just clear it out as well. Yeah, that's a 26 to hit. And then that is going to be for 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right. That one goes down too. You are just kind of surrounded by like a crowd of cultists in red robes, but you seem to be taking them out faster than they can spawn. Okay. So that was Kefris. The devils over at Bartholomew's place. All right. Bart, you're in trouble.
Oh boy. I'm in
Another 4 are going to spawn.
Great.
So, Bartholomew, you're just surrounded by a flurry of leathery wings as you watch more and more devils beginning to take wing around you. You can get an opportunity attack on at least one of them.
I know math. 22.
22? All right, give me damage.
10 points of piercing damage.
All right, you wing him and he just shrieks at you and then disappears into the crowd of devils that have just begun to swarm into the sky. And like hunters are screaming, the fires are raging. There is absolutely, it looks like there is no hope at this point. You're just kind of watching your town go down in flames and literally turn into a hell. When you see feathered wings join the leathery wings in the sky, and you watch one devil suddenly into the ground. And then you see another devil into the ground. And looking up, it's a cacophony, it's dark, and difficult to discern, but suddenly down in front of you lands a were-raven. And he says, "Cavalry's arrived." And we're going to go on break.
Is it time already?
I mean, it's a little early, but I need one.
That's totally fine. Don't even worry about it. So, I would like to say, Danae, thank you so much for running this spooky-ass game. I'm so excited these were-ravens are here. To all of you audience members, we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to bit.ly/adventure merch, pick yourself up something nice. We even got our new ham pants in, so consider it. And we will see all of you guys shortly. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. You're back. Wings has some rules for us to follow for this next segment, so I'm both curious and scared.
All right, we are going to have what is called a skill challenge. Also, hi, everybody. Welcome back. The were-ravens have come. There are devils bursting out of cultists all over Vallaki. Our party is split. Things are looking pretty dire. However, the were-ravens have descended, and they are now helping to turn the tide of the Battle of Vallaki. So, what I'm going to need is for my players to roll initiative so that we can go into a skill challenge. And this skill challenge is essentially going to be, basically, by the end of this skill challenge, Vallaki will no longer be in a battle, one way or the other. And how quickly you accomplish the skill challenge is going to affect how many dice I roll. And how many dice I roll is going to affect how many people die. And what I roll on those dice is going to affect who does. But people will probably die here. So... I have to take initiative now, don't I? Remember when I said I was prepared? I am prepared right now. So, Speedy, give me your initiative.
22.
Kefris.
8.
Silme.
14.
14. All right. So, y'all remember the rules to a skills challenge. You need to describe to me, you're going to have to tell me what skill you're doing. You cannot double up on skills, either doing a skill that the person just ahead of you in initiative did, or the skill that you did last turn. And I saw a very interesting way of scoring skill challenges at Gen Con. Not Gen Con. Did we go to Gen Con? It was Gen Con. Gen Con. And did I tell you guys how much coffee I had today?
Not enough.
Clearly. So, the way that I'm going to score this is it's going to be cumulative, and we're going to be shooting for a number. And that number is...
A number.
60.
Cool.
Are you concerned?
A little.
Don't be, it's fine. All right. At the top of the round, it's Speedy. And what you see above you is just a cloud of devils and were-ravens just flying at each other and just going absolutely nuts.
Well, they have it covered. On the ground, how many are around me? Cultist-wise.
Well, there are cultists that are just kind of looking up and going like, what the fuck? Because probably the majority of them didn't even know that were-ravens existed. So, like, the majority of them are just kind of looking up, and, like, a very small amount of them are convulsing and getting ready to spawn devils. And also there are were-ravens that are starting to land amongst them and just stab those guys, but they aren't necessarily stabbing the cultists that are convulsing.
Cool. I guess I'm gonna roll athletics to try and brute force my way out of this.
Okay. Let's see it.
Oh. 22. 18 plus 3. 22.
All right. Good number.
21? 18 plus 3. Yes, 21.
21.
Sorry.
Good number. All right. So you like shove and twist and turn and do a somersault, and you go between a were-raven's legs, and you find yourself on the outside of this crowd. Meanwhile, you can see hunters just kind of in a...
Oh, I meant to like fight my way out if possible.
Oh, you're like
Like
killing...
just trying to kill people.
Here, I go killing again. Sure, absolutely. Are you just using your knife, or you're using all your weapons?
I'm using all my weapons. Like, Speedy grabs one of the people looking up, wraps his arm around his neck, and puts him in like a sort of chokehold, taps him in the back with the crossbow, points his crossbow at another person, taps him, and then just like flexes and snaps the dude's neck.
Nice. I love
and
it.
Drops him.
That's freaking cool. All right. Meanwhile, all of the hunters that were in the bucket brigade are just kind of in a tizzy. They don't know what to do with this. And then it is Silme. You are running down the street and you have a spike sticking out of your abdomen.
It's fine. Am I getting damaged from this?
No, not necessarily, but it sure does hurt a lot.
I was gonna say, is it gonna hurt more if I pull it out or if I keep it in? Should I pull it out? Keep it in. Pull it out. Keep it in.
You can roll a medicine check to find out.
I don't want to do that. So what is my goal? What am I trying to do?
I assumed that you were trying to get back to the church or to Speedy. All right. Then in that case, I could argue for an athletics or an acrobatics.
I don't want to do either of those.
Something, or maybe history to navigate the city.
Yeah, I'll do history. I can see, right?
It's dark, but yeah. Dark vision.
Dark vision. Hey. Yeah, I will use my history to maneuver my way over to the church.
Alrighty.
12.
12. All right.
Don't eat your brother's food.
You do a passable job.
Thanks.
All right. And now Kefris.
All right, so point of order.
At this point, you don't have any were-ravens around you. You're still technically in the middle of a fight.
Yes, which is why I wanted to ask. So, can none of us use athletics since Speedy used athletics, or is it only the person
You're
directly
fine.
above?
You
Awesome.
can use athletics. Yeah.
Sweet.
That's what initiative is for, is
Awesome.
to decide who's over who.
Awesome. I'm glad it was Silme. I am going to just keep up my rage. I am going to just keep smashing every cultist that I can possibly see that is trying to make their way to the church.
All right, you're playing whack-a-mole.
Hell yeah, I am.
And Maybelle is helping you. I think she's figured out by this point that like which ones are about to pop, and she's basically just dusting each one, or like I don't know, what do you call it when you come down and it's
Harry.
like yeah, it's I'm thinking about crop dusters, but that's just my country background.
So, because I'm raging, and this is a strength check, I would have advantage.
Yeah.
One might argue. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. I don't want that dice. I want my Kefris dice. Wow, I'm glad I had advantage. That's an 11.
Nice. Passable. Yes. So you're just popping cultists left and right, but you aren't necessarily like keeping up with them as you were before. You start seeing devils start taking to the sky.
No.
All right. And it is back around to Speedy. It has been one round.
How many rounds do we have?
As many as it takes.
Great.
Why would
I'm
you
gonna
say
use
that?
stealth to basically hide my attacks, like duck behind the were-raven, pop out under his wing, bap,
All right.
kick up a cloud of smoke, bap, bap through the smoke.
If it helps, you're at 44 out of 60 right now.
Oh,
So if you roll well again, then we won't get around to the second round.
17.
All right. That is just enough to put you over. It's at 61. So you do that. I'm not going to say that the fight ends immediately after you do that, but it is more along the lines of the fight goes on for a little bit longer, but the tide of the battle has been turned enough. Silme, what do you do when you arrive back at the church? You just start slinging spells?
Yeah. I would probably ask Maybell to go check on Speedy and see if he needs our help. Because I can't see him, right? There's no, like, direct line of sight.
No.
Yeah.
He is about half a mile away from the church.
Yeah. She's gonna tell her to go quick.
All right, she'll do that.
And then, yeah, slinging spells back to back with her brother.
I use my reaction and I hit her. No.
Mage Slayer.
Mage Slayer.
Ha!
All right. So as the fight slowly comes to an end, Kefris and Silme are able to handle the cultists at the church by themselves. Bartholomew is able to eventually rally the hunters to stop, cowering and actually assist and help with the were-ravens. The battle goes on until sunrise, and just as light begins to pour into the city once more, not the hellish light of flames, but the heavenly light of, well, a muted sun. The last devil takes a bolt to the head and is dead.
Could I have saved a cultist, like, for interrogation?
Sure.
I didn't.
Who wants to roll a d6 for me?
Oh, I don't want to do it. It's not me.
I'll do it.
Do it.
That's a 4.
4. All right. Soldar Soldarovich unfortunately did not make it.
What's Yevgeny gonna do now?
I don't know what that name is.
I
I don't remember that.
don't know who that is.
They're part
It's,
of my dad's bowling crew.
Yeah, it's your dad's bowling league.
Oh, tragic.
I know we're all so broken up about this.
I'm processing, okay?
I feel bad. Yevgeny's gonna be so sad. They were a pair, and he was silent, but Soldar knew what he wanted to say.
Bartholomew, you find Yevgeny holding Soldarovich's hand, and you can see him just lower his head sadly, and he closes Soldarovich's eyes, and he just kind of looks up at you and shakes his head.
Bartholomew turns towards the cultist they had basically saved for interrogation, kicks him in the chest, and then straddles him, puts the dagger to his throat. Who sent you?
Intimidation with advantage.
Initiative.
I get my words mixed up. You know this.
18.
18. All right, this is very good. He tells you that the cultists were looking for vengeance for Wachter.
Who else is around right now? Are people just tending to the dead?
Essentially, yes. Hunters have started to pile devils up into pyres.
Bartholomew
Devils and cultists alike.
hears this, and he lowers his head so that his mouth is next to the cultist's ear,
Mm-hmm.
You chose poorly. And he's going to bite into the cultist's neck.
I'm
and tear it
sorry.
out.
You want to repeat what you just said?
He's going to bite into the cultist's neck and tear it.
That guy fucking screams. And blood pours from his jugular until he dies in a wet puddle.
There's a... And then Bartholomew starts walking towards the church.
We're here to save you. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
What did he say? Where did he get those devils? Did he tell you anything?
What is your passive, Bartholomew?
16, I believe. Yes.
Okay. We'll resolve that in a second.
Did he say anything about the devils?
Wait.
Oh, you're here.
No,
I'm
we are
walking
not here
towards
Oh,
yet.
sorry.
We are at the
He's
church.
not there. I'm sorry. Did you think that you just watched Bartholomew?
Yes.
Oh, do you think I would have done nothing during this? Be like, oh, that's cute. He's giving him a little kiss. That's a lot of blood, but I'm sure they're into it.
If
I'm supposed to be the one scaring you guys.
if we hadn't seen him take a prisoner, then I would have wanted to take a prisoner. If I could.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
me
Silme, you can
personally.
take a prisoner for sure.
Don't
Sweet.
bite.
I'm not gonna bite him.
You are going to have
Promise?
to. You're going to have to try awful hard to get a prisoner.
Yeah.
Because
she is.
magic doesn't deal non-lethal damage, and Kefris isn't leaving any alive.
Yeah,
That's a good.
but other things like Tasha's hideous laughter.
Yeah, which I would then have just Gallagher smashed.
That being the case, I'm gonna retract what I just said.
Kefris! And she's gonna come up and just smack him in the face as soon as the battle's over. Like, full on.
He growls, and you see him turn quickly and just raise his maul, and then just brings it back down. This is far and large the longest he's ever raged, for sure. He had to break it up amongst different times because raging for 6 hours, you should consult your doctor. But yeah, he kind of comes out of it and just, what?
We need information.
About what? The
About
demons.
the cultists. If they took prisoners. Where they're getting their devils from.
We saw where they were getting their devils from. They were getting their devils from inside of themselves.
Kefris, nothing can get out of here. How are they able to summon demons? Devils.
Nothing gets in or out of this location unless Strahd wills it.
So Strahd has a portal open? No, that's not true because
No, not. Strahd doesn't need the portal. Lady Wachter and all of her weird fucking friends were into some kind of worshipping of devils. They all agreed that Strahd would be a better ruler. If Strahd wills it, it is possible within these lands.
And what about the hostages, where their base camp is? How many more of them there are? I know that you are raging, I understand. I'm just...
My
Leo
rage
is still missing.
is not an excuse. You know that.
Then I am
We will
literally upset at you.
find Leo. We will find Indiro. We have been stuck here in front of this church all evening. They could have gone into an abandoned home.
You don't think that Leo would immediately come out if he saw fighting?
I think that if Leo saw fighting, he couldn't win. That no, we wouldn't have seen him. Or
If he saw me, he would have.
if his dog was scared and ran, Leo cares more about darts than he does either you, me, or anything else in this entire town. If darts ran, he would have followed darts. We need to look now that there's sunlight. I agree. But if they have the ability to turn themselves and to rip their own flesh apart to become these horrendous creatures, what makes you think that we would have enough time to ask them politely?
I did not say politely.
Because if we didn't ask politely, motions towards bodies on the ground, this isn't something we ask about. Because this isn't something that they're going to tell us if they will so readily give up their lives. I agree, we need to find others.
Then let's go. Has Maybell come back?
Not yet. But let's go and resolve Bartholomew real quick. Bart, you're just storming down the street. Is there anything that you want to say about his demeanor or appearance at this moment?
I'm pretty sure he stops at like the side of a house, like slams a hand against the wall and just starts hyperventilating.
Okay. As you do that, you are unable to notice as a hand comes up behind you and a foot shoves underneath your center of gravity, and you are just flipped onto the ground and you lose consciousness for a brief moment. And while your eyes are still closed, you can smell lavender. And you feel the cold hand of your mother touch your face. And she says to you, "You need to stop running. You will fulfill your destiny. You will do your duty, and you will become king." And then your eyes fly open, your lungs fill with smoke-filled air, and you see Tereska looking down at you, upside down. And she just puts a hand out and pushes down on your chest. And she says, like with absolute rage in her voice, "You cannot do that here."
He's just looking up at her.
She's going to take out a handkerchief and like start wiping the blood off of your face. And she is just like, her demeanor is fierce but protective. And you can see her hands are shaking. And she takes a deep breath and lets go, and lets you take a breath in, because she basically just pushed all the breath out of your chest.
Yeah. He's gonna, once catch his breath, just hug her. And she probably feels like his heart's racing a mile a minute right now.
She holds you for a second, and then she just pulls you off of her and pushes you away. And she's going to stand up. You can see that she's wearing her hunter's clothes, and she has a bag packed. "Bartholomew, I have to tell you something. I was not born here. I was brought here as an outsider." Sorry, Kev. Steven keeps like getting closer to the mic. Okay, not looking. "I was brought here as an outsider. This is my fault. Your wanderlust, your curse. I can't protect you, and I can't protect your father. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go and do what I should have done years ago. Just please Not in front of the hunters. And she leaves.
He's gonna try to stop her. Like, questions. Where are you going? What do you mean?
If I tell you, you will follow me.
I'm going to follow you regardless.
She just looks away. And then she's gonna grab you by the shirt and push you up against a wall and say, "Don't make me hurt you." And then she's gonna drop you and leave. And then Maybelle flies down and lands on a post next to you, and her eyes are just wide.
There is the sound of metal clattering as he drops his short sword. And just looks up at Maybelle.
That seems like the end of a scene to me. Okay. So, Kefris, Silme, after your conversation, what are you doing?
I am yelling Indiro's name and just knocking my fist against every abandoned house near the church.
Okay. Give me either investigation or perception.
You need a big dice in this big world. Fuck, I'm dumb. Okay.
God damn!
I got a no, sorry. I got a total of 9.
Of 9. Okay. God. It's fine. It's fine. You are unable to find Indiro. You do, however, find some ilmateri cords that are torn and hanging off of a piece of debris at the church. It looks like she just kind of got caught and kept going. The community knot is very much broken.
I am going to pick them up and just kind of hold them. And based off of where they were caught, do I know at least a direction where they were going?
Not with a roll like that.
I think if anything, he's just more caught up in like holding onto these cords, because this is bad. This is not a good time.
I don't really know.
Sister, you...
Silme is going through all of the cultist robes and stuff, seeing if they have any things on their person. We can do that after we talk.
Yeah, for sure. We can let you loot the cultists.
What?
You have magics that can put things back together.
Yes.
Correct?
Of course.
And he'll just show you the cords.
Where did you find that, Kefris?
And he quietly, just sort of like still holding on, just motions and points to where he found them.
She'll kind of put down what she's doing, walk over and like look at the cords. They look torn, not cut.
Stephen, exactly how strong are these cords?
They're hempen rope. Or not hempen, they're our father is well-to-do, so they would have been silken rope.
The community knot is broken, but the rest of the cords seem to have been cut away. like those, they were stuck pretty good where you found them.
It's going to take me a while. Can you hold on to them?
He silently nods. Throughout the entire evening, he has just been embracing this bestial side of himself for hours. So now, in this moment, you see he looks small.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's taller than you, he's jacked, but, like, there's just this, like, he feels he's very deflated.
Yeah. And Silme is very much in mom mode. Like, we have to figure this out. We got to get shit done. Like, she's, like, and then she kind of just, like, really stops and, like, looks at him, and she's, Kefris. She puts her hand on his cheek, and she's, we cannot be defeated yet.
He shakes his head. Just... Only broken, but not destroyed.
Can you please do me a favor?
I could try.
Would you mind go fetching the priest, Petrovich? She kind of, like, looks down at her stomach. There's, like, just blood pooled on her nice dress. And she's got the spike sticking out of her. I could use a hand.
Then come with me.
There's still work to be done.
I'm sure that's what he's going to say as well. You're still fine. Come with me. I'll patch you up.
Well, can you patch me while I look at the things I found? Probably.
As long as you promise to stay relatively still.
Well, I am in a corset, so I can't go very far.
It'll hold all your organs in.
That's why I'm not bleeding out.
He just kind of nods, yeah, he's going to do his best to patch up his sister.
And I'm gonna see what I found on the bodies.
So I should probably roll a medicine
To patch her up?
Yeah.
Go for it.
And I should probably roll investigation.
Look, there's a reason he failed out of med school. That's a 4.
God
Right.
damn it.
You go to pull that spike out, and there, you pull it out. It wasn't a through and through type thing, but you look at it and it broke off a little.
I'm just going to patch it up. I'm not going to mention that part.
Jesus Christ. Okay. I got a 21.
21. All right. It's the same story with every cultist. You find maybe a little bit of electrum, a little bit of copper, and I'll roll for that. You find 7 electrum and 3 copper, and every single cultist has a little tiny vial, a little tiny glass vial that is drained, except for a little teeny bit of black ooze in the bottom of one of them.
They don't have any symbols or scrolls or anything on them.
Not necessarily, no.
Could I take the 10 minutes while my brother is patching me up to identify this?
Sure thing.
Sorry, 11 minutes.
Absolutely. It is pretty clearly a potion intended to turn a human being into a vessel to summon a devil. Basically, just use the meat stuffs that are inside them to make a devil, but with equivalent exchange and all that nonsense.
Yeah. All right. Silme's going to
You're able to put together that these guys drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Do I know what components would make this?
Some pretty dark, bad stuff. I don't know what else to tell you, man.
Well, I guess my thinking is like if I can determine what, I'm gonna CSI this shit. If I can determine what they used in it, I can determine where they got it from, and therefore maybe where they are.
All right, give me an investigation check and/or Arcana.
Same roll. 10.
10. All right. Your best guess is that they got it from Lady Wachter. Before she died. It must have been handed out at some point, and then, it's such and such time, it's such and such place, bottoms up.
Yeah. Does it seem like we killed a lot of them?
They are all dead.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, the number-wise, were there a lot of them?
Yes.
Okay.
It was a fight that lasted, overnight. It's not necessarily half of the town, but maybe a fifth.
Okay. I think at this point I would be concerned that I haven't heard back from Maybell. So I might start to get up and...
Yeah, we should probably figure out what they're doing.
Yeah.
Are you left alone, Silme, at some point?
Sure.
Or does Kefris hang out with you the entire time you're doing these investigations?
No. Because there was a moment where he was off looking at the ropes.
Okay.
Yeah.
At some point while Kefris is away, you will receive, when I say receive, I mean you personally are about to receive a handout.
Oh.
But you're just kind of investigating, looking down at the at these vials, opening up your books and looking through them. When a singed piece of paper kind of gets caught on your foot, and you look down and pick it up just before the wind catches it and takes it away. And this is what is written on it as soon as I can find your chat. There you are. Doop.
Jeez Louise.
So you can read that whilst I figure out what's going on with Bartholomew. I feel like we need to fast play a little bit of the aftermath of the fires of Vallaki. What are you doing?
After the scene with his mother, he just raises a bracer for Maybell to land, and he'll pick up his short sword and start walking to the church. And when he gets there, just sees everything. If he sees Maybell and Kefris, he'll walk over.
All right. Lucian will actually approach you, Speedy. And he is limping along on a crutch. He looks haggard. He has barely survived an attack on his church and then spent the rest of the night just trying to keep people alive. And he's like, oh, Bartholomew, I didn't know if you'd made it.
We're Petroviches, we always make it.
You're yeah. Your mother's alive. She dragged your father in here just a little while ago. He's hanging on. He's pretty rough. I don't think he's ever going to be the same.
He's gonna put a hand on his uncle's back and just walk him towards, wherever, just show me.
He will take you over to where your father is, and he's like, now this is kind of hard to look at, and you come around the corner and you can see that there is a place where your father is supposed to be laying down, but he has clearly dragged himself up out of bed and he is sitting next to another bed. And Lucian's all like, oh, Fershi, you're supposed to be lying down. And he walks over and you see that there is a child-like figure, a child-sized figure that is just completely wrapped up in bandages. And Fershi is just sitting next to her and looking down at her. And he will pull a doll out of his furs and put it down next to her. And he's just kind of looking sadly down at Myrtle, who seems to be in really rough shape.
Bartholomew walks up to Myrtle and just gingerly puts a hand on her face and casts Cure Wounds.
Okay.
She gets back. Cool. I hope that's a lot. 11 points of HP.
That seems to help. But when you put your hand on her face, you can feel just the heat radiating from her burns. And the place where you touched her begins to cool somewhat.
You look over to his father, nod his head.
There are tears just pouring from his eyes. And you can see that half of his face is like completely like red and blistered. He seems to be in pretty rough shape himself.
Father, get back to bed. You need to rest so you can watch Myrtle more later.
He tries to say something to you, but he is just doubled over with racking coughs. And Lucien will just heft him and basically all but force him back into bed.
Turns to Lucien. And my dog.
I don't think they would have made it out without her.
What is she?
And he's going to kind of nod his head over towards the doorstep of the church. And you can see her just kind of laying there. And she's gone.
Where are the siblings?
I'm sorry, the siblings?
Meladusk and Bellevue.
You can find them.
He's gonna tell Lucien to tell them to find him at his house, walk over to his dog, pick her up, and start walking home.
Okay, you do that.
There is a website for people like you, Wings, and it's called doesthedogdie.com. Now we have to throw this up there. I hope you're happy.
The dice decided everything.
It was not you. We understand that. So, you are taking up Tyr. You are heading out. Kefris is definitely going around to the dead. Like the ones that just have sheets over them, and he is just checking one by one to see if there is anyone that he knows or has seen before from this town that are in the ranks.
Among the dead are definitely a few people that you recognize. Yeska and Milajov are also dead.
Yeska was the gravedigger boy, right?
Yeah. No, Yeska was the acolyte.
Right.
Yeska was this guy, and Milajov was the gravedigger.
I am going to take out my shovel that I took from Milajov, and I am going to lay it next to him And I also wanted to check the bones.
The bones?
Yeah, if the bones of St. Andrel were still there. The container looked like it had gotten fucked, but like, are the bones still where the bones should be?
Yes. They are where they are supposed to be. But the church is kind of fucked.
I am going to start praying by the bones to hopefully see about keeping this a consecrated place.
Okay. Silme, what are you up to?
Did Maybell come back?
Yes. She came back with Bartholomew.
Okay, sorry, I was reading. Did she,
Mhm.
did I see Bart?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you saw him walk in and talk to Lucien. You can infer what he's doing there. Which is to say, checking to see if his family's alive.
Yeah. I think she would watch, like, she'd make sure he's okay and kind of relay to Maybell, like, what happened to them and what's going on. And was she there when he saw his mom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll let you know what she saw.
So from her perspective, did he just fall?
From her perspective?
Yeah.
No. She definitely saw Tereska basically judo flip the guy and then yell at him, and then leave.
Okay. Tereska is his mom, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, good.
I mean,
okay.
you hope so.
Yeah, no, I just a lot of names. So I think Silme's gonna like look around and realize that there's nothing that she can do to be useful to anyone. Not really. I mean, she doesn't know how to do anything. She's already searched the cultists, so she's gonna like kind of look back at Kefris and turn and follow like 10 feet behind Speedy.
Okay. It is now morning of the following day. What is everyone's plan as far as the aftermath of the Battle of Vallaki?
I am going to take the remains of the cords and I am going to tie the bones together using the cords.
Okay, interesting.
Into just like a bundle and then say a prayer to Ilmater to basically try and reach out to keep this place as a hub of relief for those who have no other way of escaping their suffering.
Okay. Give me a religion check.
Don't fuck me. That's a natural 20.
Holy butts.
Even in this place.
Okay. You feel that your prayer is heard.
And then I am going to go and investigate the left-hand side that wasn't burnt out to just see what was left and what was taken. And then after that point, try and find my sister and Speedy.
All right. You find some of Irina's belongings. It seems that she packed and left in a hurry.
What's left?
What is left?
Yeah.
Basically a few things that she evidently deemed not worth saving in, the midst of a fire. Torches, some clothes maybe that she had set out.
I'll take the clothes. They all reek of smoke. It's not like it's one of those like, I take the clothes for my own weird things, but like,
Yeah.
just as like she would.
You are at some point approached by a were-raven. Just full on, totally beaked out glory. And like just swoops down from the sky, lands in front of you, and you see as her face shrinks back into humanity, and Danica Mardikov, the keeper of the tavern, is standing in front of you. And she says, so,
So it's human face on a bird body.
she turns back into a full human.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
You're not tripping, Kefris. Okay. You're fine.
And he just rubs the bridge of his nose and says, Barovia is gone. The city. We went there before we came here, and it was ablaze.
So it's true.
I'm so sorry.
She's gonna kind of look down briefly, and she's gonna put her strong hand on your shoulder, and she's gonna say, there's going to be time to mourn. But not now.
This isn't mourning. I am so sorry. We were given a chance. We went to the castle yesterday, and I was offered a role in a position that I would not be able to serve under the command of Strahd, and I said no. This is my fault. And I'm so sorry. I did this.
She's gonna point a finger in your face. Stop that. That's what Strahd wants you to believe. This isn't your fault, Kefris. This is war. And we can all be sad about it. That's fine. But we're going to do something about it, too. We didn't come back because Vallaki was in danger. We came back because we found something.
And he wipes a little bit from his face and just says, what did you find?
And then we cut back to Silme. All right, Silme, you're following Bartholomew.
Mm-hmm. Close enough where he can probably hear my footsteps, but far enough to give him space. I realize he's carrying his dead dog.
He's not gonna say anything to you.
Mm-hmm.
Once they get to his house, he hops a fence into the dilapidated shed, takes a shovel out, starts digging.
Are there two shovels?
Wings?
Sure.
Silme will attempt to help.
When they get deep enough, Bartholomew picks up Tyr, pats her on the head, gently puts her in the hole and just starts shoveling dirt over her.
She'll probably grab his hand once it's all over.
Thank you.
Of course.
My family is not in the best state.
Of course.
And I'll relay to her information. Myrtle's badly burnt. My father's badly burnt. My mother's left.
And she'll nod in acknowledgement, but you could probably tell that she already knows. What can I do?
Right now, I don't know. We need to find your brother and talk about what we're gonna do after this.
All right. Don't you think we should sleep?
There'll be enough time to sleep later. Is there still a were-raven around?
Sure.
If possible, he's gonna flag him down.
All right.
Or them down.
You recognize one of the were-ravens from the vineyard. Fuck, is it? I have the name Davian in my head, but I can't remember if it's the son or the
He's the patriarch.
patriarch. Okay. It's the other one. It's Davian's
The younger
son.
one?
Yeah, the one with the arm in a sling.
Arden?
Arabelle.
Arabelle.
It's like another bird pun, I think.
Right.
I can look up my Mardukov family. Adrian. There you go. That's the reason I couldn't remember, because they sound very similar.
It's totally Adrian. It's just really sloppily written.
Okay. You flag down Adrian, who is getting a weird side eye from one of the hunters, and he will approach you.
If I catch that hunter's eye, I'll just give him a nod like it's cool.
Okay.
We cool.
It's Valentine, because of course it's Valentine. And then Adrian approaches you. What do you need?
Can I make a formal request of you and your family?
We'll see what we can do.
If you can, if there are still people from Vallaki out there in the woods, if you can find them, bring them home.
Okay, we'll do our best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He just kind of looks at you and says, I'm sorry. And he will kind of half fly, half hop away. He's full on beaked the entire time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Speedy will give Silme's hand a squeeze, let it go, turn to Valentine and the other hunters, and start barking orders.
Mm-hmm.
Find out any more survivors if they can, bring them to the church, get the healers over there if we have any left.
Okay.
Silme's going to take her knife out of her. I'll say she has it in a garter, and she's gonna just slice off her bloodied corset and let it fall.
Okay.
Are you? He motions to the wound.
Well, I think the pregnancy rumors are going to go away for a while.
That's not a cool joke.
Don't make it. God, we can't do this.
I'm sorry.
Such a heavy episode already. Come on.
Dark humor. I'm sorry. She's gonna. Kefris didn't tell her that there's still a piece inside her, right?
Nope.
Solid.
I'm gonna tell her to sit, and then I'm gonna medicine her because I don't know if she's been treated.
If he goes to use magic, she will stop him.
Oh no, I'm actually doing a medicine.
Okay,
check.
good.
23.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, you're able to check her out. That gut wound is pretty clearly the worst one. And you are like just kind of feeling around. You can tell that there's something in there. So you are able to pull out some tongs.
I'm gonna take off my belt and tell her.
Every hunter has got tongs because you got to pull porcupine spines out of your dog's nose. So this is basically the same thing. You kind of have to go digging around, and it does not feel good.
I've given her like my belt to bite down on.
Yep.
Silme's trying really hard to be really strong. It's probably not working out really well.
All right, and you yank that out, and you can see a charred little barbed spike that's got barbs sticking out the wrong way.
Silme doesn't faint.
Good job, Silme.
He's gonna put his hand over the wound and cast Cure Wounds.
She will not let you cast cure wounds. It's not like there are other people that need it more than she does. No.
Well, then you're going to have to be sitting down for a while until this closes properly. You don't want to agitate it. I can sew it back up, but it's going to be a very shitty job.
Well, I know someone who's very good at sewing, so I think we'll be all right. It's Maybell.
Yeah. There's a nod from the owl. Would you like to turn her back into her humanoid form?
Yeah, eventually.
Because she would like to, so that she can help too.
Yeah.
All right.
Did Speedy want to say something?
Sorry.
Okay, sorry. You kept making the face you make.
This is the face I make when someone kills my goddamn dog.
Nice in the courtyard. It's the first time I've used that as I don't want to talk about this. Oh, God. Kefris, you have a conversation with Danica, and a few more were-ravens will actually join you in the burned out Church of St. Andrel, where you kind of like prop up a table that, like is a little bit wiggly. And basically you are essentially in a war room at this point. And they explain to you that they found 2 of the stones at the Wizard of Wines, or that belonged to the Wizard of Wines. This may not seem important to you, but they inform you that one of the stones' location is the reading that you described to them. The reading that said that the ravens would help you find it. The exact words were, "An evil tree grows atop a hill of graves. Where the ancient dead sleep, the ravens can help you find it. Look for the treasure there."
Where is this place?
Just south of the winery. They were able to track the underground tunnels to it, but there is a place over land that you can approach it from.
Yes.
Swarming with blights, swarming with druids. It's going to be rough, but you'll have help. Meanwhile, the other location of the stone is going to be attended to by Rosalia and a crew that she's putting together.
And he nods. Then we shall return. That would mean all 3 of the stones are returned, right?
Only 2. We don't know what happened to the first one.
But we do, right? Like, we saw... No? Okay.
Nobody knows.
Okay. And he nods and says, 2 is better than nothing. And right now, nothing is all that we have, so...
We don't have nothing. We have you.
I was meaning, like, the stones. Like, as a total, we don't have any of them currently.
Honestly,
Sorry.
The stones mean very little in the long run. We mostly just don't want Strahd's allies to have them.
I agree.
Yes, wine is important to Barovia, but wine isn't going to do anything if the population is dead.
Also very true.
She, like, puts a hand out behind her and just shows you the shambles that the city is in. And Strahd is pulling out all the stops.
Then we set foot today. If we move during the daylight, her influence won't be as powerful. It won't take us more than a day to get there. But we do need rest.
Yes.
If, not if, when we help you, I ask for one favor in return. There is a woman whose hair has been cropped short to look like a man. You've seen us with them at the bar. They currently go by the name Indiro. Can you find them?
If there's anyone in Barovia that can, it's us.
Thank you. If you are able to do this, which, as you have said, if there's anyone out there who can, it is you. If there is anyone who can recover these stones for you, it's us.
And it's good that fate has brought us together.
I wish it were under more pleasant circumstances, but I agree. I'm sure you all are lovely folk when you are not trapped in a small nation ruled by a pitiless vampire.
Then let's do something about it.
I agree. If you could call Speedy, Bartholomew, and my sister here, we could all figure out something to do together. A lot of us.
All right. She sends a raven off to go and find them. An actual one.
Okay.
Speedy and Silme, what are you doing?
After Speedy's done talking with everyone, giving them their mission for the day, I guess they'll start heading back to the church. There's nothing really left right now.
All right. Yeah, if you don't start heading back to the church immediately, you are summoned by a raven.
I'm gonna change Maybell back.
Okay. She immediately sets to work trying to help bandage up wounded hunters.
Yeah. Cool. Speedy, is anything like this? I mean, obviously nothing like this has happened before, but I know Strahd has followers. People that just bend over. Bow down. Where are they?
If anything, would I know? In this town, at least?
About whether or not there were followers of Strahd here?
Well, I would assume that, like, the area around Lady Walker, since she's the biggest follower.
Yeah, for sure. Lady Walker specifically is the person who paid the most lip service to Strahd. The cultists kind of by proxy paid lip service to Strahd, but they mostly were attracted by the cult of personality that was Walker.
If you're looking for information, I suggest we hit Lady Walker's house. She was the biggest supporter of Strahd. She led all of these people. The reason they even attacked was because she died.
Well, then let us go there.
I walked to Lady Walker's house, but then get summoned by a raven.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. They want us back at the church?
Yes.
Isn't that on the way? Am I picturing this wrong?
I don't think I ever explained exactly where Lady Walker's house is, so we're gonna say yes.
Okay. So, what did the raven say? Just was like, "Meh, this way."
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Ah!
whatever a raven has to say in order to get you to follow it, it says that.
Okay. Silme's gonna. What is Kefris doing when they get there?
He is looking over if it was there, a map that would show the lay of the land, and is just sort of getting a heads up on where this location is that he and his friends, and his friend and his sister are going to have to go to.
Okay. Silme doesn't say anything when she walks out.
We found another tool. And when I say we, I mean our friendlier creatures, the were-ravens. They have let us know that this place also has one of their stones, and it would be mutually beneficial that we go and take care of this. I have agreed that I think that it is also beneficial, but I did not want to make this decision without confirming with the two of you first. They are going to be looking out for Indiro, and we are going to do our best to set the record straight.
What is the time frame for us leaving?
As soon as possible.
Give me a date. Sure.
I would have suggested that we left today, but I cannot be useful without some sleep. And
tomorrow morning.
I would suggest we sleep through the day, and then come nightfall, stay up as best we can. Make sure that nothing comes into the town overnight. Those fires could be seen from everywhere. We saw them from miles away. If there are still the enemies that we made at the tower where your parents had their kaplow, and they know that this city is not as well defended, they will need people to defend it. Able bodies.
Speedy looks over to Kefris, nods his head. He's going to turn and walk out the door and start issuing orders again.
All right.
Assistant.
Silme is going to just affirm, and then she's going to start walking towards Lady Wachtter's house.
Okay. What are you looking for at Lady Wachtter's house?
Pretty much any information she can get about Strahd, vampires, check out any magical items, artifacts, scrolls she has, and look for Leo there, maybe.
Okay. All right. Give me an investigation check.
That's a natural 20.
Nice. All right. You are able to put a lot together. You are able, like, basically when you walk into the house, you can see that it's all but ransacked. It seems like there were a lot of people in here in the past few moments, that there very likely was a gathering here, and then they dispersed from here before the actual attack. As far as any sort of organization, I think that you find some orders from Lady Wachter that are there posthumously, and they have been left behind. Essentially, just she gave orders to do this in the event of her death. The orders themselves only say to take the potion and release the devils. It doesn't say anything about setting fires.
Okay.
And whilst you are doing this, there's going to be a knock at the door. But the door is kind of busted in, so it's just a dude that's standing in an empty doorway.
Silme turns and leans around a corner.
Mm-hmm. You see Valentine standing there, and he says, Silme, we need to talk. Can I come in?
Which one was that?
Valentine. It's the hot hunter guy.
He's Pakistani.
Right. It isn't my home. Do you need permission to come inside?
He kind of looks down and then smiles up at you in a very familiar way. And he's all like, oh, we're learning. And he drops the disguise, and it is Escher.
Oh, fuck. Oh, hello.
Hey, nice acting, by the way, last night. Anybody who sees us together is going to think that we've got a thing going.
Wonderful. Can I help you?
I hope so. But, actually, I think you're more interested in me helping you.
In what way?
Well, let me explain a few things. He's going to kind of walk back and forth in front of the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you may have noticed, I'm not exactly the most favored consort of Strahd. The crypts of Ravenloft are actually filled with failed brides and consorts of Strahd. I'm just going to let you know right now. the bottom of the totem pole is not a great place to be, especially when she's starting to lay eyes on someone new.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to say is that it's going to be better for me to be a disloyal consort on the winning side of the Slayers of Strahd than a loyal consort who's about to get replaced.
I would like to insight check this,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some reservations, Wings, that we'll discuss in Knights of the Courtyard.
It's a 13, or I'm sorry, 23.
I'm sorry, that's quite a large difference.
It was 19 plus 4.
You believe what he's saying about this. You don't know whether or not. Let me put it this way. You're his best chance right now.
Yeah.
You're his best chance right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You may enter.
Nice. He's going to kind of walk in and sort of look around, just kind of like seeing what like state Wachter's house is in. He's just going to kind of raise an eyebrow. And he is just like laden. He's still wearing the same clothes that he wore last night. He's laden down with jewelry. He's got rings on every finger.
Mm-hmm.
He's got kind of a gaudy sense of style.
Of course.
So, what do you want to know?
What can harm you?
He's going to like kind of he'll walk over to a table that's already been splintered. He kind of like pulls the leg off, and he says, "One of these."
Anything else?
You ever heard of running water?
No, what's that?
Something you might not know. We can use bridges, and if we can fly, we can just go over that. Running water doesn't hurt us unless we're in it.
All right.
Obviously, holy water, sunlight, but you're not going to find any of that here.
Unless it's made. Silver?
No, that's werewolves.
Gold?
He just kind of like holds up his
right.
rings.
They could be fake. I don't know, okay?
He just kind of like, he looks wounded. Not real.
Tell me, what did you do before you became a consort?
What did I tell you before? Did I tell you that I was a carriage driver, or did I say that I was Barovian born and raised?
Why don't you start with the truth and we can work our way back?
Well, it's kind of funny. I was a bard. I used to be an adventurer like you. And then I took a deal from Strahd.
Ah, the same one she offered us.
Similar. Not quite. I think she's got something different in mind for you. She likes you in particular an awful lot.
Why?
Well, you have potential. Most wizards that come into Barovia are all gung-ho, ready to come and, lead a group of peasants to their doom and then get thrown off a cliff. But you're actually interested in her and what she has to teach you. And she really hasn't had a wizard in her court since Kazan, so.
Interesting. I'm glad I've caught her eye. What do you know about Irina?
Who now?
The sister to the burgomaster.
You mean the one down in the village?
Is she down in the village?
The burgomaster of the village.
Of Barovia, yes.
Yes. Oh, she's the one that Strahd wants. Yeah, that's about all I know about her.
You don't know why?
Do you know why?
I have a guess.
Well, if you don't know, then maybe I'm backing the wrong horse.
Well, if I told you everything, then I probably wouldn't be the most intelligent person in this room, would I?
You're fun.
So, I've spoken with you. I'm allowing you to enter. Is there something you can do for me besides talk?
Well, I can give you a warning.
What would that be?
Strahd interrogated a were-raven a few nights ago.
Who?
And Edgar, I believe was his name. And she took his finger. She can use those kinds of things to scry. And I guarantee you she took something from his mark. So maybe be careful around those people.
Understood. Thank you. Is there anything you ask of me?
Mostly, do me a favor and don't scream. And he's gonna lean in and kiss you.
Like on the lips?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
And then he will step back, kind of smile and wave, and then turn invisible. And then you turn around and see Maybell right behind you. And I think that we can leave off on that.
A bitch.
Excellent.
I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
I love
My
this.
name's Danae Keeter. You can find me at DanaeKeeter.com. Please don't kill me. That's the end. That's the end for tonight. Come back next week and see a happier episode, maybe.
No! No, they won't! No, they won't! That's it, folks. That's the end of our stream, apparently. Thank you so much for everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these awesome players. We went through the ringer tonight, so much so that Danae's gone. RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ here on the channel, but you can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and stream sometimes when I'm not working. You can catch me here on Mondays as Kalen the Shatterkai Cleric on our homebrew campaign, and of course here on Tuesday nights as Speedy. You can catch me over at Pro Restar's channel, where we play the Cypher system. I'm with LBHackEmUp. I am a... God, everybody's getting depressing. I'm a robot. You can catch me also helping out over at Open for Adventure. Yeah.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me in the bottom of a bottle. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on the Twitters, in trouble with my fiance, and I retweet everything I do, so.
Yay! That's it, I guess. So, hello. Hey there. It's me, the Indoor Adventurer. In case you did not know, but you have made it this far, I am the showrunner here at twitch.tv/indooradventures. We have all of our VODs go up to YouTube, as well as audiocasts wherever you can find audiocasts. All under the same moniker of Indoor Adventures. We also have a Patreon set up where we have our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community at large, but also from each other. And boy, fucking howdy, do I have some fucking questions for this evening? But that's fine. You can catch all of those there at patreon.com/indooradventures. And hey, did you know we got our Discord set up as well? So if you're interested in joining in with any of these fine folk, consider joining into our Discord. That is either linked below or connecting via subscribing via Twitch or through our Patreon. We got a bunch of we do a bunch of fun stuff. We got our homebrew game Monday nights. We got Curse of Strahd Tuesdays. We got our Acquisitions Incorporated inspired Ghosts of Saltmarsh game on Thursdays. We got all sorts of stuff. So consider following, consider stopping by. We are getting close-ish to 400 followers on this channel. We are almost at 375 right now, and once we hit 400, we are going to do a giveaway as best we can. So until then, we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!